Right, made the bed yet. If you're new here, my name's Victoria. I'm homeschooling mum of 5 in England. I do homeschool stuff, the odd homeschool vlog, but most of them are on Patreon now. Hauls, sometimes meals of the week, stuff like that. What was I going to say? I haven't decided what I'm going to call this yet. It's either going to be homeschooling with no money, or homeschooling when financial difficulties, or homeschooling when times are hard, something like that. And some of the points I've made before in various videos, but I'm just putting them all in one place. And I'll tell you why I've been compelled to make this video. This video will probably come out at the beginning of September, but I'm filming this at the end of August. So I've been putting vlogs, and I've been putting things on Patreon that I don't want shared more widely at the moment. But for the purpose of this, I'll share, sorry it's the dog barking. For the purpose of this, I'll share this. My husband's been ill since the end of March, I think. But who knows, time's just going. We was told, because he'd been there for 10 years, that he would get 12 weeks sick pay. You know, that full wages. But after 8 weeks sick pay, full wages, then turned around and said, oh, well, you haven't really been here 10 years, you've been here like 9 years and 11 months because she was agency before then. So they just severed the sick pay. So we then went on to statutory sick pay, which is a government one, which is £99 a week. But, you know, some weeks he was getting £60, we was living off £60 a week, some weeks he get 130, so I don't know. But it's roughly £99 a week. Anyway, we can't live off £99 a week, but we have been doing, because my husband didn't want to come off tax credits, because once you're on universal, I went to see a benefits advice man and he said don't go on universal credit unless you absolutely have to. So we was hanging on as long as we could in case the husband got better and could just go back to work. Because my husband's a master budgeter, we was already so many weeks ahead with the rent, so many weeks ahead with the council tax. So we was alright, as in, you know, we weren't going to get in debt or anything, but money was tight. And then the last 2 weeks I've had to go to the food bank, and the husband's admitted now that we need to go on universal credit, so we've put the claim in, but it's going to be another 4 to 5 weeks till we get universal credit. So we've been alright, you know, my kids are warm, they're clothed, they're fed, but it's been tight. And when I was pregnant with my youngest, the husband's family made some nasty remarks, so we haven't had a lot to do with them since. But a family member on the husband's side has got dementia, and they wanted, my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law wanted some photos of the kids to give this family member with dementia. I'm sorry about the dog, he was silent till I started filming. Wanted these photos for this family member with dementia, so they come round to get these photos, and Jasper! So they come round to get these photos, and they saw the husband and they saw he's ill, and then, you know, we had to tell him things. Anyway, the other day I texted to ask if the family member had enjoyed these photos, and she said yeah. My sister-in-law rung me back and said yeah, but then she says, oh, because your money's tight at the minute, we'll have Gabriel, that's my oldest if you knew, we'll have Gabriel, he can come live with us, but he'll have to be educated properly, so he'll have to go to secondary school. And while we're on the subject, your other children, they should be schooled now, they should go to school, because 1, it'll take the pressure off you with your husband being ill, and 2, for the free school meals. Now, apart from the fact I understand that some people are in situations where they have to put their kids in school to make money or to make ends meet, right? But for the fact that the husband's illness is going to be temporary and we're coping, why would I put them in school when they're happy at home and homeschooling's working and that's our life? Why would I put them in school just for some free oven chips? I don't. And also, do you know how much school uniform costs? Friend of mine, some friends of mine, their kids are starting secondary school in September, and the uniform's like 250 quid. So it's like 250 quid per child. So it costs me more to put them in school than to keep them at home and feed them. So anybody else, and you know, if they're sending them to school stopped you having financial worries, then why the vast majority of the nation are worrying about the cost of living, the energy price increases? The vast majority of them kids go to school. Excuse me, sorry. So, you know, in case during this cost of living crisis, energy prices rising, folks start saying to you, oh, you know, you'd be better off if they was in school. You must put them in school because you're financially struggling. Apart from the fact school is more expensive than homeschool, in my opinion, because of home uniform, stuff like that. Jasper! Apart from that, unless you absolutely cannot, it's not a reason to put them in school. Everybody's financially struggling. And here are a few tips how you can home ed when the budget gets tight. Source really cheap stuff. Like, I know somebody whose kid was doing taekwondo and he was in the town, so they had to get the bus fare, and the taekwondo was like 30 quid a month each. There's one in the village hall up here for £2 and you don't have to pay bus fare. The same as, instead of buying things brand new, look on the free cycle sites, go to the charity shop, source things cheaper, or source free stuff. The library's free, tutorials and documentaries on YouTube are free. You could Google worksheets for any age and they'll come up free. What else is it? The free events, like we took the kids to a hedgehog event. Well, I did, the husband's told to leave the house. I took the children to a hedgehog event the other day and it was free. It was run by a hedgehog sanctuary. You could donate a tin of dog food if you wanted, or like a roll of kitchen towel if you wanted. So we brought a tin of dog food, but it was free. It was a free event. So, you know, just source the free stuff. There is free stuff, you just got to find it. So use what you already have in. You'll already have toys and construction kits, and you'll already have random bags of rice and stuff for sensory play, and you'll already have books in, and chances are you'll already have the internet for things like, you know, free documentaries, free workouts, free everything else. Use what you've already got, and make do amend what you've already got. And always accept things graciously, gratefully. If people want to give you things, even if you don't really want them, like, you know, people offer us clothes and they offer like books and things, accept them gratefully, because you can look through, get what you want, and you can give the rest of the charity shop or pass it on to somebody else who might want it. And the thing is, if you accept things gracefully, they'll keep giving you stuff, and every now and again you'll find something in it that you really want. I don't mean, I've got a couple of followers who send me stuff when they think of the kids, and I don't mean them. I am really grateful. I'm really grateful anyway. I mean, like, there's a woman down near allotment, she's a market trader, and if she can't sell a load of clothes, or she thinks, oh, I can't be asked to go and market this week, she'll give me the bag of clothes, and the stuff that fits the kids I'll take out, and like books and things. She gave me a load of books the other week that somebody gave her for a market stall and she didn't want to sell them, and the books we wanted are kept, and the books we didn't want to give to the charity shop to bless someone else with, and the clothes that we didn't want, because they were, I don't think she'd even looked in the bag, because there was things like teenage girls stuff and stuff, and my daughter's 5. I sold them on Vinted, made some cash. So you know, but if someone's trying to help you, take the help and do what you need to do with the help, if you know what I mean. Right, be creative. You can use the, you know, for doodling on, or doing the maths, working out, or things like that. It doesn't have to be brand new paper. You can use the back of junk mail letters. You can use the back of envelopes. You can use the cardboard of cereal boxes. You can use anything like that. And you know, you can do stuff. Junk modelling. Get all your old crap that you got out of the recycling bin, cardboard, bits of plastic, and they can make art with it. So be creative. And you know, budgeting, sourcing through things, sourcing cheap things, asking for help when you need it, taking help, reusing things you've got are all essential skills that you're passing on to your kids. Instead of sitting there going, oh, do something, and it makes them into capable people as well. Like, we're trying to not waste anything anyway. We're quite frugal anyway, but it's even more so at the moment. Things like, don't bin the eggshells, because we can grind them up and feed them back to the chickens, and which makes them lay more eggs. Things like, don't bin that, put it in the composter, because when it turns to compost we can use it. Don't bin that back of that envelope, we can use it if you're working out on your maths, things like that. And it's better for the planet as well. So don't feel bad about it, because these experiences shape your kids. Like, my mum's a very capable person because her granddad... Sorry, my camera died. I just could get a new battery. I was saying, there's lots of free things you can do. Like, being outside is free, going for walks is free, the allotment and gardening is free, going to parks is free, meeting up with friends is free. Home ed meets, most of them are in free settings. There's lots and lots of free things. Clubs. Now this one is a temporary measure, but you're hoping being skint is a temporary measure anyway. The kids, I was hoping I wouldn't need to use it, and I might not have to use it. I just asked, you know, for future reference. Things like Beavers, Scouts, Cubs, which are all the same organisation, aren't they? Rainbows, Brownies, Girl Guides. I went to the Beaver leader and I said, you know, we're living off £90 a week. I don't know how long it's going to be till we're sorted. I think because this is the week before they broke up for the summer holidays. They don't have it all summer holidays, so I haven't had to pay it all summer holidays. I said, when we come back in September, if we're not sorted, but hopefully we will be, I've heard about a discretionary fund where you don't pay while you're skint. Is it a case of you don't pay and then you have to pay it all back what you owe once you're sorted, or you don't pay it back? And she went to somebody higher. If you really cannot pay it, you don't have to pay, and then once you're sorted you just pay again as normal. You're not in debt with it or anything. So your kids can still go to things like Beavers and Scouts. If you're really struggling, you just have to speak to the leader and ask for the discretionary fund, so they can still do stuff like that. And you don't have to lose your dignity over it. There was a woman, she probably meant well, so if you're this woman, don't come at me, you probably meant well, but there was a woman on a local home ed site, and she was saying that she bought a new laptop, she got an old laptop, she wanted to give it to somebody who was worthy. Could you message her and tell her about yourself, and then she'd give it to the person who was worthy? Now, she'd have had people messaging her, telling them how bad off they are, and then she decides which one's the most worthy to get it. I mean, talk about humiliating. I didn't apply for it. I was like, you keep your laptop. You don't have to lose your dignity over it or beg. Having said that, there's nothing wrong with asking for help. I was really embarrassed when we went to the food bank. I didn't need to be, because they was lovely about it, and There's nothing wrong with asking for help, and that's another important thing to teach your kids, that when you need to ask for help, this is where you go, this is what you do, and there are places we can ask for help that aren't going to say put your kid in school or we'll take over off your hands, stuff like that. That important part of home education is life skills. So I've already said budgeting, cooking, maintaining the house, laundry, all that. They're important life skills, and all of them are free because you'll be doing it anyway. So that's not going to affect it, is it? So they're my tips anyway. And I just wanted to say that when times are hard, because either, you know, like our situation, husband's ill, or, you know, just the cost of living or whatever, you can still do this. There's a will, there's a way, and don't listen to people telling you that just because you're struggling a bit, or just because you're reining in your budget a bit, that you have to put your kids in school if it's not what you want. Because like I say, majority of these people who are saying that they're struggling with cost of living prices, their kids are in school, so it doesn't magically sort out your finances. If what's important to you is educating your children at home, and the lifestyle and the connection and all that you get from home educating, then where there's a will, there's a way. And if you're fine, and finances are fluid. Just because you're skint now doesn't mean you're always going to be skint, and it doesn't mean you're always going to be in this situation. So you've got to assess, is it worth putting them in? If you don't want to put them in the school system and they don't want to go in the school system, is it worth putting them in the school system, making yourself on the radar if you weren't on the radar already, putting up situations you're not happy with, they're not happy with, when in 6 months' time your finances could be alright again? So, yeah, your sister-in-law could show it. See you next time, my love.